We are live at 11:05. I was a little confused there. We have a new face behind the camera, which you don't see, but she didn't know how to work her fingers. Josh used to give me a good solid. How to go 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on. We're live at 11:05, and here's something I need to add. This is gonna be my new routine. Live at 11:05. I'm BC. This is live at 11:05, sponsored by SpiritCars.com. So if you want to find out about the products and stuff that we do, this is now an infomercial, an informational infomercial. So I'm going to try to add that in, but that is who we are, and this is what we do. We build cars, and not only do we do turnkeys, which is what we're doing here, and a big part of the reason we do turnkeys is to help us through our engineering. So when we sell what we say is the most complete kit on the market, it means we've run into most of the problems that you're going to run into, and try to figure them out and fix it in the jig and the molds before you even get it. And we're putting a couple of T-buckets together, and I'm really focused on this one today. We're going to be starting a couple cars this week. This is one of them. Blue Moon's another one. We want to get that on. Stephanie, why don't you come this way a little bit, is taking over for Josh. Not that Josh is left. He's still the voice of Spirit Cars. Careful, watch where you're going. Don't trip. She's kind of nervous a little bit. She's tiptoeing. He's still on the phone, and he got him a headset now, so we should be answering the phone more often. A lot of times he's in the shop and wasn't able to get to the phone, but Stephanie's job too is answering the phone. How does that go when you answer the phone?
It's usually pretty nice.
No, let's hear it.
This is Spirit Cars. How may I help you?
She'll work on it. She'll get that better with a more friendly voice. But Spirit Cars, how may I help you? And how can we help you is try to accomplish your dream. That's what we do here. And she's put up some videos of the Black Knight labeled Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onto YouTube. And we got 2 YouTube accounts, I think. One is T-Bucket TV, and the other one is Spirit Cars.
Spirit Cars.
Spirit Cars, so she's been doing that, and then your next job is to do the Blue Moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, all those, so they're on there. So if you do want to watch that in sequence, it's a little easier there to do it on YouTube. Facebook, once this gets on, it'll go live, it'll stay on the page, but after a day or 2 days, pretty much people don't see it anymore. Putting the motor in, putting stuff in. I'm going to install the transmission today. One thing I was kind of doing today, and I got thinking about it. If you cut a little bit off of here and there to make it work, so be it. Somebody arbitrarily designed this. I know people tell me, I've done some instructions before, and sometimes the number on here is just arbitrary. You got to come up with a number, and it's about, that big is good, so that's the number we put, and maybe try to put it to a whole number instead of a fraction if it matters or something like that. But I'll have people tell me, well, I can't do it that way. The instructions tell me it's got to do it like this. I wrote the instructions. I assure you it'll work the other way. So I had a problem this morning. I was just running the gas lines. I had it all going. Let's come down here and see how this line is right here. And I could put an extension on here and had this thing coming way the heck out there and got that coming up. Well, that didn't make sense to me. I just took and ground a little bit off of there. I left plenty of gaskets so my fuel pump is not going to be leaking or anything like that. And it's it's clean. It's nice. I like that. It's hot rodding. Sometimes you have to do that. But hopefully not. We're dealing with a company here, Lokar. We're putting this Lokar shifter on. We're putting it on a 350 transmission, 350 turbo. And I asked this question the other day because on the Black Knight, these were in the way of the body, these little tabs. See these tabs? And nobody gave me an answer yet. What are these tabs for? Nobody's ever used it for anything. And we have our speculations, and my transmission guy gave me his pretty thorough what he believed they were for. But if you know what that is for, tell me. Lokar makes a pretty good shifter. You bolt the one piece onto the tail shaft, and really that's the only thing that's kind of bolted to the transmission. There's these holes over here, which again, I don't know what they're for, except Lokar figured out to use them. They got an aluminum collar, you stick in a bigger hole, and then there's just a set screw. You can run that into that, and that holds it together. These are 3-piece, 4 pieces here that you see. Lokar, pretty good instructions. I like pictures. I like pictures and arrows and numbers. I'm always good with pictures and arrows and numbers. I mean, you do got a little bit of reading there, but in today's world, we're losing that skill. But no, we're probably gaining it. It's all turning into abbreviations, LOL. So, it took me a long time to figure out what that meant. Like, what in the world is this person talking about? On our car, and now this, we reference everything, I've said it before, according to Spirit. Life according to Spirit. So, you got a couple of choices here. You can put it here, you can put it here. And I suppose if you wanted it somewhere else, you could modify it, but this does not require modifying. That's one thing nice about Lokar. Tight parts, great engineering, shifter button works great. You can loosen up, adjust it a little bit. It's got a neutral safety switch here, and they're generally adjusted, so it's going to work as is. But they've got this, if you look in the kit, they've got this little tool here, this is just nothing but a tool that once you've used it, you can throw it away. But this little pin, this knob here, is solid, where the same thing on the side of here is a button. So what you do is you screw this in all the way, and that will adjust how your shifter works. So you're, as far as the neutral safety switch part, but this should be adjusted. You should be good to go. I'm not even going to go into that more. If you get this shifter, it'll be more in depth in the instructions. I don't want to confuse you too much. So on ours, we don't want to be too far under the dash. If you go into the first ones, you're going to have your shifter a little farther under the dash. If you put them in the back holes, it's going to be more into the floor. Lokar has a taller shifter too. I think they have 3 sizes, and then they have a very, very tall one. Now it looks like a standard shift, but this is actually an automatic transmission. And again, if you shift through the buttons, it's got the push button here. It will not let you just push it from drive into reverse. You've got to actually push the button. So if you hit it with your knee, you don't need to worry about that. It's a great safety feature also. And with the neutral safety switch, we had here one time, I don't know if I should tell this story, but we had somebody run themselves over because they started the car from outside the car. And I'm not sure what was worse, the damage he did onto the car, or the fairly significant he did breaking his leg and all the rest of it. I was mad enough I would say the damage to the car upset me more. But nonetheless, be careful. We used to do a car build all the time at the car show. Some of you may have seen that. And I always started the car at that event after we just built it with volunteers. I never trusted it would be in neutral. I always rocked the car. If you rock the car, you can tell that it's in park. If you can push it, it's not. So if you're going to start the car from outside the car, and I understand we do that. Sometimes you just want to show off your motor. Make sure it's in park, and at that point, if you're going to do it, don't trust your neutral safety switch. Rock the car, make sure it's in park, because that thing could start and run people over, be dangerous. But check your neutral safety switch, have it working before you say, all right, my shifter works. You do have to do a little figuring on the Lokar setup here. This is about the only figuring you have to do. So I've got my shifter here, goes this direction. For my linkage, you've already got the bracket that goes onto the shifter for the transmission, which is over here. Kind of see that. I've got it masked off here, but it goes onto the existing shifter. Make sure that when you shift it, it's in, you know where park. Run it through the gears. You got a rod end that'll bolt on the back side here. Threaded rod goes onto this. Now this is not like a lot of our drag links or our panhard bars or anything like that, where we have left-hand and right-hand threads where you can just turn it in the middle and they'll both get bigger or they'll both get smaller. This one you physically have to take off because they both thread the same direction. But once you get it threaded, you can see that this is going to be obviously much too long here. So we'll have to cut that down and A lot of times, I guess this can be our last tip for the day. When I cut it off, I'll run a bolt on past where I'm going to cut it. That way when I cut it, I can kind of clean it with a file. But then when I run the bolt back or the nut back off of it, it helps clean my threads too, and I can put it back on and off, and I don't have to re-tap my threaded rod. So that just makes it a little easier. Not a bad job. I started on this just a couple of minutes before Marvin here came out, before Stephanie came out. By the way, Marvin, Stephanie, if you're watching this, they're friends of ours. Hello. Haven't seen you guys for a while. Hope all's well. So we're there. This is coming together. Oh no, I can't leave you with that other tip. This is a much more important tip. Matter of fact, this is why I did the whole video today, for this tip alone. Again, everything's referenced to spirit, but it'll work a lot on different cars. I've got my shifter here. My body needs to go on there, and I've got to have a hole here. And it is a royal pain in the butt if you're trying to hold the body, two guys holding the body up here and trying to mark the bottom of the car or getting this thing to fit. The body has got body mounts already. So these are the tabs for the body mounts. The holes are already drilled into the car itself. So I have a reference point in the floor of the car. I have a reference point here. So since I have these two reference points, I can measure between these to the center of where I want that, and I can put a straight line there, and I can measure back and forth to where I need to cut the hole for my shifter. You may want to start fairly small. I mean, you don't want to cut a giant hole because the shifter boot's not that big, but that will absolutely get you close, and that way when you put your body on it, it's going to go, I mean, worst case scenario, it's going to go at least over the hole, and you can mark it from the top and see where it goes, and maybe cut twice. We've done it so many times on this particular car, we seldom have to cut twice, but if it's your first time, it's better to cut twice than have to add some to it. So that's it for today's technical stuff. You know how we end these things, Stephanie? Don't end it yet. Don't push that button. Oh, that's right. You've watched a bunch of these videos.
I've watched
so you know it's
a ton of these.
What are the names of the books?
I don't remember.
Well, you will by the time this is over. We have Coffee Break Contemplations. A buddy of mine, or you call him the Hot Rod Man, wrote this one. And we have Pass It On. So would you like to choose one?
Do the coffee break one.
Okay, I could use more coffee. That coffee's been gone for a while. We have Coffee Break Contemplations, and I just randomly choose one. Put my glasses on. Giving up your rights for what may appear to be a greater good is neither good for you nor is it good for any other individual. Hey, I like that. That is a true American statement right there. I'm going to read it again. Giving up your rights for what may appear to be a greater good is neither good for you nor is it good for any other individual. We're in the industry, you can't believe how much lobbying we have done just to make these cars legal on the street. Yeah, we don't want to give up too many of our rights. Yes, it's for the greater good that we work with each other and are good, but we don't want to get into politics. So Stephanie, yes, you did a video last week. You got how many? You got 2,000 people to watch that.
I did.
Yeah. How many are you going to get to watch this one? Pressure's on. If she doesn't do well, I don't know. She's still in her trial period here. So let's help Stephanie out. Share this around. If you want to watch this when we do it live, there's a button on the bottom somewhere at top. What's it say? Follow. It says follow. I remember that. So push the follow button if you want to be notified when we do it live. And Stephanie's going to actually move us to the new level. We got repeaters now, so we can go into different parts of the shop that we've not been with a strong signal. And we're going to do the YouTube thing and the Facebook thing. And what is the other one you're going to be putting pictures on?
Instagram.
Instagram. We have an Instagram account that we've not even put picture one. So your job is to take, how many, 5 pictures a day?
5 pictures a day.
And I'd like to know if anybody that's watching this, because we're old people, has Instagram. Let us know if you have Instagram and how do you even get to see these pictures. So put some pictures up of this car and that car and that car and a couple cars. And let's see how many people will follow us on Instagram. Is that a follow thing too?
Yeah.
All right, well, very good. That's it for today, and we will see you tomorrow at 11:05.